Hi, everyone. Welcome to MJS Coaching Football. Coach Sullivan here. I was a defensive coordinator this past season, which was my 39th season, and I hope yours was successful as ours was in 2021. Today, in this presentation, I want to talk to you about one of our 3-4 packaged plugs that we call Sloop Tite Max. So, Sloop Tite and Max are two separate plugs that we package together. I'm going to show it to you versus 11 personnel, which I have illustrated over here. So the first thing I'll do is I'll go through the key terms on the left so you can better understand how we execute Sloop Tite Max package plug, okay? And then I'll bring it to life for you over here. Alrighty, I'm not going to get into great detail on the trio coverage. You'll have to see my Zone Blitz coverage playlist. Not subscribers, I hope I could tease you into pushing that button. So the first key term is package plug itself, right? In this case, we're going to combine an outside linebacker and an inside linebacker. Two different plugs, we're going to combine them together. The key is, in a 3-4, the nose is a part of both sides, so you have to combine two plugs that do not put the nose in conflict, okay? So you'll have to go through your own blitz inventory, determine which two plugs you can utilize. So whatever the one thing the nose does, he's right on both plugs. Okay, and try not to reinvent the wheel and make it, complicated. And there's another key to making that happen, and I'll get to that very quickly. Okay. So the second key term is Sloop Tite Max itself. The blitz call, which for us is Lucky Ringo, is to the rover. Sloop Tite is a rover plug, okay? And so the rover plugs A gap, and I'll go over the nuances of how we do that for an outside linebacker in the diagram. The mic is the max, right? So Tite tells the rover it's his blitz. You'll have to see my base fronts playlist to get all the reasons for that. Okay? Max, anything that begins with the letter M, is the mic. So if you notice, right, all our defenders have different letters. In the two cases where they both start with an F, FCFS differentiates them, Plus, F, in this case, FC is the field corner, FS is free safety, okay? So that makes it easy for us in terms of naming and for our players to learn whose blitzes they are. Pretty easy, okay? So you have to do all that on your own, okay? How you start off with how you name your players, how you get them lined up, then how you name your blitzes, and then which blitzes can you package that does not put your nose in conflict, all right? The defensive end on the call side is going to slant C-gap. You see here he goes first, rover goes second. And now here's the nose, right? The thing that we do, in addition to taking two plugs and combining them that doesn't put him in conflict, that we start with the nose goes with the first call. So Sloop Tite, nose executes his assignment for Sloop Tite. That's it, boom, done. Sloop Tite Max, he executes his assignment to Sloop Tite because remember, the nose is in both sides. So then Max, what he does for Sloop Tite is not going to put him in conflict for Max, as you'll see. Okay? So the nose sticks B gap to the call. We don't say long stick. Okay, we're cut down on the vernacular. To us, stick is the two gap that some people call a long stick. We just say stick. Slant, one gap. Stick, two gaps. Okay? So the nose sticks B gap to the call. Third term, it's good versus all personnel. 10, 11, 12, 20, 21, 22. 4, it's good versus run, pass, zone read, power read. Okay? So it depends on the offense. I've utilized this more in running situations, depending on what their focus is and their tendencies. I've utilized it in pass situations for the same reason. Depends on your opponent. You have to determine where it works best for you. So now over here, okay? The only thing I'm going to talk about in trio coverage is how we spin the safeties post-snap, after the ball snapped, and why we do that. Otherwise, I'm not going to talk at all about trio coverage. So remember, Lucky Ringo goes to the Rover. Rover screams, Ringo, 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 which triggers, Roger, Roger, Roger. That's the safety saying we're spinning to the right when the ball snapped. Okay? So and I'll take care of the safeties first. Okay? Safety has sky support, which means he's got force on the run. He's hot on the tight end, who is number 2, if it's passed. So the ball snapped. The reason we don't rotate before the snap, why help the quarterback? Right? Why show him that we're spinning? That means he knows a blitz is coming. We wait till the ball snapped. Okay? So he screws down on the snap. He's reading the surface, okay, as he comes down. So guard tackle. They're showing pass. He knows he's hot on the tight end. This safety, ball snapped. He's in crossovers the middle of the field, reading his surface. He reads pass. He gets into the middle third. All right, there are your safeties. Boom, done. Make them communicate at every rep in practice to guarantee they're spinning in the correct direction together. Oddly enough, I've had safeties spin in opposite direction, and then you got oh boy, nobody in the middle of the field, right? So now, let's start with the Rover. Okay, defensive end studs first, Rover second. When the Rover's going to plug inside, whether it's A gap or B gap, we tell them deepen your alignment so your inside toes on the heels of your DN. Nobody's going to pick up on it. Ball snap, defensive end, slant and C gap. Rover stepping on his heels, right? But in the case of Sloop Tite, it's both the DN and the nose for sticking B gap that the Rover has to be aware of. So as the Rover steps inside on the heels, he's also making sure he's butt side of the nose. Okay? So we don't tell him to delay or anything. We have him change his feet slightly so his inside toe is staggered back. So his outside foot is up like this. So it's easier to step. And then as he steps, he's going to make sure to be butt side of both. The DN's easy, but he's going to make sure he's butt side of the nose who's sticking B gap. Okay? Now on a max, it means the mic opposite A gap. There he is. Okay, and so the nose goes toward the mic in a max, see? So by putting these two together and having the nose execute his assignment for the first call, Sloop Tite, doesn't put him in conflict for the max. Right? There it is. So as I said at the beginning, thank you for watching MJS Coaching Football. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at CoachMJSullivan@gmail.com because I would love to talk football with you.